to have very high transaction speeds of up to 20,000 TPS. Ultrain will provide numerous services to businesses. These include computing power for AI, network management, high-performance trust computation, user-friendly smart contracts and blockchain IoT service. Ultrain provides a computing service called Trusted Computing, which is a brand new model and definitely differs from traditional cloud computing. The Trusted Computing model includes CPU computing, GPU computing, memory computing, hard disk resources, bandwidth resources, etc. All the data based on trusted computing and operations on these data cannot be tampered with or destroyed and are transparent to all and traceable. Ultrain Technology. Based on Ultrain, we are committed to providing a computing service called Trusted Computing. This is a brand new computing service model that differs from traditional cloud computing. Compared with traditional cloud computing, it is a new computing model based on the blockchain architecture. This computing model includes CPU computing, GPU computing, memory computing, hard disk resources, bandwidth resources, etc., which can all be included within the scope and framework of the entire trusted computing. All the computing has the characteristic of blockchain computing, that is, all data based on trusted computing and operations on these data cannot be tampered with or destroyed and are transparent to all and traceable. High-performance computing. With breakthrough innovations in cryptography, Ultrain has established a new consensus mechanism which we defined as a random trusted consensus framework. This new consensus mechanism can, under the same level of security performance as the POW, achieve a 1,000 times increase in performance in a fully decentralized network with only 1% of the computing power requirements of the traditional POW network. This consensus has the following features. Feature 1, completely decentralized architecture. Feature 2, ultra-large-scale network cluster. Feature 3, multi-terminal support. Feature 4, high-performance computing. Feature 5, decentralization design. Trusted computing creates value. One of the objectives of Ultrain is to free up more computing power while ensuring the blockchain security and utilize the freed computing power for computation with actual social benefit to further create value for the real economy. Through innovations in Ultrain cryptography, only 1% of the computing power of the entire network is required to implement mintage when the consensus is reached each round, and the remaining 99% of the computing power can be provided as trusted computing. This computing model includes CPU computing, GPU computing, memory computing, hard disk resources, bandwidth resources, etc., which can all be managed and scheduled using Ultrain to provide services externally. Flexible and sophisticated multi-token system. In order to better support the token economic system design of dApps, Ultrain adopts the dual-layer token architecture system of U-token and UGAs. U-token is the generic name of the tokens issued by dApps running on Ultrain, which is similar to ERC20 of Ethereum. Each dApp can issue its own tokens based on Ultrain and set its own token monetary system based on its business model, for example, inflationary, deflationary or mildly inflationary. Based on the differences in the monetary system, each dApp can choose different consensus mechanisms, including POW, POS, DPoS, POA, and RPoS, or even establish its own consensus mechanism. On the basis of different consensus mechanisms, it can produce exclusive mining rigs for the token to support the mining for token issuance. UGAs is a token that is used to purchase the necessary computing power for running smart contracts on Ultrain. All smart contracts deployed on the main chain and side chains of Ultrain can run only with UGAs. Similar to the gas of Ethereum, UGAs is a charging and settlement tool for Ultrain. Consensus building mechanism for mutual confirmation. The core of the blockchain technology is the idea of decentralization. Decentralization means that, in a group that is completely equal with no center or authority, a group of people reach a consensus through negotiation to accomplish a goal agreed by everyone. Ultrain hopes to build an effective participatory systematic mechanism so that all participants can effectively build a better future together without requiring the parties to fully reach a consensus. We call this a mutually confirmed consensus building mechanism. In order to effectively implement technical consensus and business consensus at the technology level, we have designed a network governance mechanism based on democratic voting. We believe that people with more resources in the economic system are more concerned about the health of the system and deserve more voting weight. User-friendly intelligent contract. Ultrain's design is based on the Go and Java languages. It significantly improves the user-friendliness of smart contracts and simplifies user education. Artificial superintelligence on the chain. Phase 1. Reinforcement learning platform on the chain based on idle computing power. Ultrain has built a complete reinforcement learning training and operation platform, which includes not only multiple master ACE indispensable for the operation of Ultrain, but also ACE deployed by third parties that provide various service capabilities. These ACE can be called and used by third parties in need of ACE. Compared with the traditional AI running on cloud services, the AI, UBot, running on Ultrain has the following features. Trustworthy AI. Socialized data contribution. Reinforcement learning. In the first phase of the AI direction, Ultrain hopes to successfully build an economically driven and socially participatory controllable AI service platform. Phase 2. Artificial superintelligence based on deep belief network. Blockchain-based value IoT. In the IoT field, Ultrain mainly hopes to achieve trustworthiness and reliability of operations of a single IoT device and between IoT devices, as well as reliable payment transactions between different IoT devices by means of the blockchain technology. Meanwhile, it intends to implement firmware-level compatibility and unified external programming interfaces of IoT devices by introducing the blockchain-level operating system. The traditional module and clouding computing model will be difficult to sustain when massive IoT devices are interconnected and interoperable. However, using edge computing to implement self-organization and self-governance of nodes from the perspective of a single computing node will be a feasible computing model. Therefore, there is a need to form a unified abstract programming model beyond the IoT firmware. An IoT node is usually a very small computing unit. Due to its power consumption requirements, it is usually a computing unit with limited resources. Its memory and storage space are both very small. It is difficult for such a node to participate in the consensus process. The computing power required by the control node of an IoT device will come from edge computing units, possibly gateways, or routers. The specific application can be deployed in the form of a smart contract on the chain, and the local network can be managed by using the control unit to implement business interaction. Comparison to others. This table shows the aim and ambition of Ultrain, compared to others. Ultrain's virtual machine of smart contract, Matrix, is compatible with JavaScript environment, support event-driven assignment and improves smart contract efficiency. Founding team. Ultrain's founding team members originally came from Alibaba, Ant Financial, 360 Security that has global vision with well-rounded diverse experiences in technology, strategy, ecosystem, business and community development. Advisory team. The list of partners of Ultrain at this time is 40+, impressive number. The idea of how those partners help with the project's progress is recommended. With this list of partners, it is likely that Ultrain is having good and stable back running the project. Roadmap. The roadmap shows pretty in detail. This doesn't show the beginning of the project, however. The testnet of Ultrain is expected to released by June 2018, 2 months ago. However, it seems that till now, 12 ago, there is no confirmation of that launch. The public network is expected to be live on April 2019, and others components within the following 12 months. Basically, the project is getting slow schedule compared to the roadmap. Opportunities and challenges. The smart contract language is JavaScript, which is more common, however, is not considered to be advanced or high level as they mentioned on their yellow paper.